talking about the psychological impact of a lot of things that we do to each other. So you were talking about the whole, like even in 2021, people still talk about this whole light skin, dark skin thing.
Yes.
And how like dark skinned people, the persecution. But you say you went through it being a light skin complexion.
And even to this day, and I'm 67 years old, believe it. I'm 67.
You're 67?
Come on, 67.
What?
But 67 in January.
Okay.
So I'm close to the 70. So all my life, you got to deal in certain areas of the country with the light skin, dark skin thing, the L, the barge, Wesley Snipe thing.
Mm-hmm.
But black people can't realize that's a Willie Lynch thing. When are they going to get that on their head? And we're in the 21st century.
Well, I know growing up, I saw it so much with my cousins and stuff, how they would be of dark complexion, but somehow they found a way to tease people, other people of dark complexion. And I didn't understand it as a child. I said, this is really like crazy. But it was like, and if you ever notice how that's the first thing so many like so-called black people, they'll notice your skin complexion. You've been out in the sun, you did this. And I'm saying, white people not walking around thinking about that type of stuff. In their mind,
a black is a black.
Right. They're not even thinking about how long you've been in the sun and I can't go outside because I'm going to get dark. And but you talked about how, what are things you dealt with being of light complexion? How did they treat you?
It's like the way they still treat me.
and how was that?
I remember when you light-skinned people were on top. When like I've been on top, I never been on top. I don't know what they be talking about. But the light-skinned niggas, y'all ain't nothing, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the dark-skinned one, blah, 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 blah. And I can't even relate. Because I've always had light-skinned and dark-skinned people in my family.
Right.
So my dad can tell me the old stories about he couldn't even identify with some of his family because they were so light. So back then they were so bright they can go for white.
Yeah.
So they had all of these issues going on. But my thing is, no, all of that is mental, and I learned that. It was mental, but I still have to face it from people. I had a man say to me, I'm coming from Africa. Oh, you weren't accepted in Africa. Oh, why not? Because you're light-skinned. They ain't got no light-skinned people in Africa.
That sounds absolutely ignorant.
Oh, okay.
They ain't been down to South Africa. So and all the colors. I mean, it's. But even that even if you go along the coast, you see.
I mean, but how do you explain that mentality? But see, I can't judge it because guess what? That's what's real. That's what I really faced.
Wow. Yeah.
You understand?
Well, what is this thing when you talked about? We were talking about it how we go about tearing down each other, and because one of the things I've learned in this. When it comes to like the whole black thing, it's like you're conflicted because I celebrate when I see my brothers and sisters excelling. I'm just like, yes, but then on the flip side, you got this other segment of the population that will do everything in their power to destroy you, to bring you down, and it's like, and they enjoy it. They get some sort of gratification out of your demise.
Right, and you have good and evil. So yeah,
to the left.
To the left.
All right.
So you have good and evil. Okay. Now let me tell you about wickedness. Wickedness is just what you described, what they do. See, I can never be a hater. You know, that's why people got haters. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I can never be a hater. You know why?
Why's that?
Because a man like yourself, or any black man, that you, like you say, somebody that's doing well, if God can bless that person, I look at that person, I go like, wow, my brother, God is like really blessing you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, if God can bless this brother like that, he can bless me too. And I go like, bless you, brother. If I see a man got on a nice pair of shoes or something I like, I go, oh man, I like that. Oh my brother, you got it going on. And see, I will always give a man, especially a black man, props.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't do that.
No, but see, and this is what we must learn.
Yeah.
See, and this is what I learned. Forget what other people do. I focus on myself and not so much on others. Because there's a secret to this life. And the secret to life is practicing spiritual principles, the teachings of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but a lot of these people go to church and they got
The church-
their Bible and they all talk about
Church
Jesus and
is
everything.
church.
And they're some of the nastiest, most foul people you ever meet in your life.
And I know this.
And it be,
And I know this.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
And that's why we had the conversation. And I tell you, I talk to God in a natural way.
Yeah, you do.
And
I heard.
I mention what I say. And you say, oh, you and God be doing this back and forth. And I say, no, that's not what I said.
Right.
Now you understand?
I get it.
Because the pastor in the church, you
Uh-huh.
get the pastor on the right day, and the pastor will cuss you out.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
So why fake? Why be a hypocrite?
well, because that's what they do. That's
Okay,
what I'm
there you
saying.
go.
But that's what, and but I think the part that's like baffling for me is how people talk the black stuff and we need to be black, but then you'll have this segment of the population that will come along and they'll see me. I just use me as an example. They'll see me traveling and doing things, trying to help you, and somewhere in the back of their slave mind, they will be thinking something negative. But if I were white, they would.
all right.
It would be, oh man, oh great, he's doing his thing. He's
Yes.
going all around the world, and man, he's having a great time. But when to that particular type of black mind,
Yes.
they're thinking to themselves, there must be something wrong because I have the freedom and the liberty to be able to do the things that their mind only fantasize about being able to do. And so those are the conflicts that we have within our community. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But here's the secret. Here's the kicker. Anything that they see you do, they can also do themselves.
They can. They do. They do.
Anything that they want to do, they can do. They are doing what they want to do. They want to complain. They want to criticize. That's what they do.
That's what they do. That's what they do. And I mean, it'll be family. It'll be... But it'll be people who will say, oh, I'm praying for you, brother. And oh, man, you're doing great work and everything. But internally, they'll be trying to... hating on you and trying to sabotage you and all kind of things. You know, it's real.
But Jesus talked about all those things.
And
that's why he came in the world to show us how to overcome all of those things.
Yeah. Well, that's
everything you're talking about.
Well, I think that's part of what the dynamic is for people to understand that just the, I guess, human nature and how people behave, and then for those who are consider themselves to be spiritual and dealing with it, because what I do is it's understood. What they think and feel really mean nothing, and that's when you get on that spiritual level. When you're like, I'm on.
The museum is there.
That's the one. That's a whole one.
That's the city museum.
Okay, that's not the black people. Okay, so
it's the black people museum. We all pay taxes. It's our museum.
Yeah. So, but what I had to realize, I said, well, and when the closer you get to God, the less you're concerned about
the ways of man.
Yeah, and that's what gives me the freedom to go do what I do, because it's like, well, none of these people paying my bills, none of these people, they can have every opinion they want to have, none of them are doing anything. So, and who gives me the breath and the strength to be able to go out and do this? That's who I'm focused on.
Right.
You know, so none of these people give me breath and strength and finances or anything to be able to go and do what I do.
Right.
And so that's
so why do they matter so much? And see, and this is my thing, and this is what I realize about my life. I'm a spiritual being going through a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
I was before I was, and I'm gonna be after I ain't. So in my human being state, that's why you have a shepherd. You have the teachings of Jesus Christ and other religious people. You understand? I wouldn't say religious, spiritual. That guides us through our journey in life. If you are a believer, the Bible tell you, many come in my name, Jesus. They don't believe in no darn Jesus.
Well, yeah, Matthew 7.
They don't believe in Jesus.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's but people don't know. When people don't understand that side of it, then it impacts them. Like we were talking about the whole colorism thing. There are people walking around right now with scars from their childhood, and they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
and older,
Yes.
walking around with that on both sides, light skin, dark
Dark
skin,
skin, yes.
dealing with something so trivial, and then
Yes.
most people don't even think about where that comes from. It didn't even exist until the colonizer got its hands
Yeah.
into it and created this psychological foolishness
Yeah.
that impacts an entire culture of people. I mean, it's even that. It's not so bad right now in many parts of Africa. When I say this, meaning it is there. It is because the colonizers there, but it's not a part of the everyday. Like for us, we live in that space. We're the ones looking at complexion. We're the ones, and we don't even know where that stuff comes from. And it's unbiblical.
But,
For all the people, you know.
but this is the fact of the matter. We know where it comes from.
Some of us do.
And all us need to know where it comes from. It comes from the slave master, Willie Lynch in particular.
But there's some people who don't even believe that a slave master even existed. That's how twisted some of our people are, that we don't even believe that it existed. Or they'll say, and this is something I said on a talk while I was driving. I said that what they try to get us to do is they say, well, get over it. It's old news.
Make a left.
Okay, make a left. Oh, yeah, here we are. They said, get over it, it's old news. And I said, well, wait a minute. The only time it's old news is when the system has changed, and the system hasn't changed. And basically what they want me to do, or us to do, is to conform.
Yes.
And to just kind of get in line. That's really a subtle way of what it's saying.
Yes.
Instead of saying, well, no, that's
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level, so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the Adventures of Darren and Destiny.